It's time to watch a Sinchi video. One Punch Man Season 3 is finally here, and it was ... disappointing to a lot of people. I get it. They're very upset. To me, there was literally no animation to critique on the first episode because it was just moving mouth and static frames. But the story was so hype, and I've been waiting for this arc to be covered for so long that it was genuinely, I had so much fun. But let's hear Sinchi's take about it.
Oh my god, guys. One frame man.
Is that bootlickers? Is that just random anime girl licking? Or is this the people that will defend One Punch Man no matter what and basically say, oh yes, Bandai Namco, let me lick your boot even more, please give us more trash.
Oh my god, guys. One frame man. Sorry. One Punch Man Season 3 is here and it looks okay. Even when solo leveling is not here, I'm still the milkman. It was basically a setup episode that didn't have any action. Although even before, when people said that episode 1 will have limited animation, this was limited. There's some wonky looking shots and inconsistent looking drawings that was poo-poo, you can say. I think the test of how good this season will look is probably next episode because there's a little something that requires movement. This episode, animation.
That next episode is when the floodgates are truly going to be opened and all the people are going to be molding. I think that no matter how good the fight scene may be next episode, it will still get shit on no matter what. Because nothing will ever compare to the season 1 quality. People have impossible expectations. Even if we get something like a 7.5 out of 10, which I think is a reasonable quality. Does One Punch Man deserve 7.5 though? Quality fights? Fuck no, right? It deserves way more. But I'm saying any other show, 7.5 quality, we'd be like, god damn, that's pretty good. But because of the brand recognition of its name, it is held to an impossible standard. It's a lose-lose situation. You will never satisfy them.
Wise was nothing special. And it didn't really need to be because when you get the most craziest looking character acting animation appearing, the numbers wouldn't even bat an eye on it. But
true, bro. Like right over here, right? The amount of movement happening, the facial exaggerations, right? This is character acting. Like this, like I think a lot of people truly underestimate the quality of slice of life Sakuga. And you're gonna say, slice of life Sakuga, what are you talking about? There's no fight scenes happening. There's no impact frames like Sukuna versus Madara or whatever. But if you really pay attention, the amount of movements, like a girl tying up her hair, there's a lot of fucking details that goes in onto this that I think is like low-key harder to do than an actual fucking fight scene. So normal people, right? The casuals don't really see this and say, oh my god, amazing. So it's I guess slice of life Sakuga would have been wasted, I guess.
Character acting animation appearing, the numbers wouldn't even bat an eye on it. But when it looks stiff, people call it out, guys.
Yeah, it does.
Before that though, drama.
Yeah?
It's not drama.
Drama!
It's actually crazy that this guy...
Shout outs to Nicholas Light. Bro, Sinchi and Nicholas Light. This is a beef I never saw happening. Because like, listen, Sinchi's my boy. Nicholas Light, he my homie, you know? And I'm like, what the fuck is going on, you guys?
For that though, drama. It's not drama. It's actually crazy that this guy actually mentioned me in one of his videos.
He did it. He said, there's a guy that got a couple thousand views in a One Punch Man video. Not gonna say his name. And I was like, oh, that's Sinchi.
Thank you, Cole, for getting Nick to notice my vid, even though I just said he's an idiot.
No, you said fucking dumbass.
I guess he got a bit upset. I mean, I guess what's the word below upset? I don't know. But here.
I mean, listen, right? You did call him a fucking dumbass. Oh, wait. Let's go find it. No. I gotta find this right now, right? I'm pretty sure that was his words, right? I think we're talking about people dooming about the trailers. Was it this? And then this is the new trailer, and then there's It's Not Over. There's also It's Actually Over, and then there's It's Over. How many overs are there? All right, let's see.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, this is the...
Of what you can see, and yeah, just go with that. You can change your opinion if something looks bad in the first place, then it looks good in the future. You can change your stance on it.
Wait.
I do think normies or people that don't really understand animation picks just one side, and don't be the other side too. Fucking idiot. Go off.
Okay, my bad. All right, he didn't say fucking dumbass. He did call him a fucking idiot though, right? And listen, right? Nicholas Light, he's a very passionate individual that's very frustrated and upset because he loves One Punch Man so much, right? He's in every fucking tweet, he's in every fucking video, you know, talking and complaining about this shit. And I think that the criticisms make sense, but obviously it gets egregious because he's in every fucking thread and every video, and there's a lot of visibility and people kind of get tired of that. And when it's constantly in gloom and doom without actually waiting for what's going to happen, it does feel obnoxious, and I could understand why Sinchi would call him a fucking idiot for this place, but that's kind of like where it's stemming from.
You're saying I'm coping and everything is sunshine rainbow about this project? No, I've explained a lot that this project is terrible. The production time is probably below a year. You know why I can say this?
No, they had 6 years since season 2 to make this, and this is all we get. No. Remember, 6-year gap, but it doesn't mean those 6 years were actually used to make the anime.
I can assume the condition is bad from even the Garo PV, and also doing some base level research going off of interviews.
Ooh.
Shout out to Probably Pretentious.
Shout outs.
The interview existed because I can base certain things and make educated guesses, not say, oh my god guys, 6 years, oh my god, no. I don't need to say this. Does One Punch Man Season 3 deserve way better treatment?
Yeah.
Of course. But it's the fact that you are here disrespecting the project. Don't back up and say, oh, it's the committee's fault, when you compare a fan animated project for OPM to the actual product and kept saying, get this guy an OPM, he'll do a better job. How is that being genuine and not disrespectful?
So there's a fan animation fight that Nick, I think, watched regarding One Punch Man, and he said in the video that, like, oh my god, the fan animation is better, get that talent in here to work on season 3.
The project for OPM to the actual product and kept saying, get this guy an OPM, he'll do a better job. How is that being genuine and not disrespectful to the staff? I know what you are doing. Rage baiting, and I don't need you to be at my level of understanding production value. You'll
oh god damn, he little broing him,
and I don't need you to be at my level of
my level
production value. You'll probably never get interested in that department. The time
my level. Holy shit, Sinchi pulling out his fucking true power right now. God, holy shit, he going nuclear. He pulling rank. My level. And you know what? I think there is a clear difference in my level of understanding, Nicholas' level of understanding, Sinchi's level of understanding, probably Pretentious' level of understanding. Yeah, for sure, right? I think they definitely are way more aware of like how production of anime is actually done, right? How it's made, the context and nuance behind why, you know, projects succeed and they don't. A lot of people, the normies, I think still have this assumption that budget is the only thing that matters. It's not. It's all about what? Talent and scheduling, like time, right? And the most important thing is for the production committee to be patient enough to wait for elite talent slots to be freed up, right? If those directors have time to work on One Punch Man rather than other projects, because remember, there's so many different other anime projects happening, and it's hard to try to get somebody even if there was a 6-year gap. And because Bandai Namco just, I think they cheaped out. I think they greeted, and even though there's a 6-year gap, they fucking waited. I think they should have waited longer. You already fucking waited like 6 years. Like, why would you not fucking wait like another couple more, right? They went with this other person who is not clearly suited for the action department for One Punch Man that he's also stated himself. And this is where we're at, right? We're left with a lackluster director who doesn't specialize in this shit. He specializes in comedy skits. He even made a little bit of hentai art too. A lot of animators, by the way, artists have worked on hentai stuff too. So this is not like a specific thing about him. And that's what happens, right? You need elite talent, and for them to have the network and clout to bring in other elite talent and a schedule and timeline that works so that we can create the art, right? It's not necessarily about budget. So Nick is coming in very passionate. I think he himself would acknowledge that he doesn't know what he's talking about in terms of like the highest level of production value. And what it means to actually produce anime. He's a, the common consumer who looks at this product and is upset and frustrated because it deserves way more. We're not arguing against that. Sinchi, though, finds it very disrespectful, right? That he is shitting on, obviously, the production committee. I think he's very aware of that, but I guess the comparison being made about the fan animation and how that talent should be working on this project instead, and the JG staff, in-house team that's being thrown under bus, that's kind of like very disrespectful. Yeah, I could understand why, Sinchi's upset, why Nicholas Light is saying these things. Makes a lot of sense.
Level of understanding production value, you'll probably never get interested in that department. The time when I knew just animator's name, I didn't know anything about good storyboards, good direction, compositing, any of those. I just need you to have the most basic understanding of production value, because you have an audience that you influence that will take your opinion and get misconstrued. That leads to more people being more brain dead about animation. I can look.
That is very true, though, right? And is it Nicholas Light's responsibility to be aware of all these things? I don't think so. He's a guy just doing his thing, and he got big. And now he has a platform and a lot of influence. And the things that he say absolutely will influence the masses, for sure. There's no responsibility for him to be like the role model because he's just having fun. However, at the same time, there are expectations, though, right? Even if there is no obligation, there is no responsibility for him. I think it is ridiculous to think that, like, just because you're like a big channel, you need to be on top of your game, right? I don't agree with that, because anyone can just do this for fun, for hobby. And this is not like a lecturing course. However, the expectation will always be there. Once you're that big, people will have expectations, and it's up to you to live up to them or not, right? So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
At a bad thing and the good things about a bad looking show. Maybe if it's T-Bit, I couldn't. I can look at the bad and the good things about a great looking show. Just look at my solo living vid, for example.
I'm seeing it.
When there's a janky broken episode in JJK season 2, you wouldn't say anything because the anime looks great and the popular opinion is JJK looks great. So you just bandwagon that because you can't critically think to yourself about animation. And that's okay. I can call you stupid. I want to say a lot more, but I'll stop here.
I think we're going to get more out of this, bro. I don't know if Nicholas Light has responded to this. Is he in this video? Has he commented? I would have expected him to comment here, actually. Kaka, we are waiting. I'm coming. Woo! I feel like Nick and he commented. Where is he? Let's scroll. Let's see if he's responded here. So give me some time. Where is he? Kaka will make a reaction video in a few hours. Not a few hours, a couple days. I've been late. I've been behind. I'm scrolling. Where is it? You would think that it would have a lot of likes, and it's kind of like up there. I don't see it, guys. Control find? No, I don't think control find doesn't work. Oh, there it is. There it is. Right there. Dropping a comment and a like for your algorithm heart. Come on, One Punch Man fans. I can't have the most viewership. How do you feel about that comment? In a surface glance, it feels positive. It feels nice. It feels like Nicholas Light wants to hype up Sinchi and say that he deserves more views. Yet, if you read between the lines and understand the context of how much Nicholas is getting shit on by Sinchi in this video, I think that this is him kind of being like little bro, you know? Like Nicholas Light is saying, Sinchi, you talk all this shit. This is the only views you get. You need more views. You know what I mean? That's kind of the sentiment that I'm getting from this. Let's read the replies. Probably pretentious as goat. Nice rage bait right there. He explains the fraud, blah, 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 blah. It's just a bunch of people. They're just fighting. They're just fighting against the comments. And Sinchi just kind of gives a heart too. And I love this heart by Sinchi. Because the heart is also very passive aggressive, you know? But both sides, at a surface level, it seems positive engagement, hearts in the chat. I want you to get more views, yet the sentiment that I'm getting is, ay, 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 ay. It's tricky, right? It's tricky because I like Sinchi and I like Nicholas Light, and for sure I am biased right now, right? Like, I think Sinchi obviously is very against Nicholas Light and he's going to throw him under the bus, and Nicholas Light's also going to be very upset that Sinchi has his sights on his back, and Nicholas Light's also going to throw him under the bus, and I'm kind of caught in the middle of trying to mediate the two and be like, guys, come on, we can get along. But the overall final take, I think, is this, right? I don't think either side is perfect. Nobody's perfect. Let's count the stuff that's happened. Nicholas definitely understands the art of rage baiting. I think he himself would be the first to admit that he knows how to rage bait, and he does it often. We've seen this on a seasonal basis. It happens every season with whatever is the most trending. He is the biggest name in anime reactions. He gets into spaces and he makes a lot of motion, whether it's positive or negative. I think he does have good intent though. I don't think he is out there, you know, with like malicious intent. I think that he's very passionate about One Punch Man, as we all are, and wants this to be good and is very frustrated, but he is also ignorant in the ways of production value that Sinchi would know more of. And while doing so, Nicholas is going to slip up, like moments like the fan animation part where it seems to suggest that JC staff is not deserving of any sort of accolades and fan animators should be done better. And obviously Sinchi's going to get upset because he truly cares about the love of the game, and whenever talent, no matter how elite or not, are getting thrown under the bus for reasons that's not their fault, right? Then the disrespect, he doesn't fuck with that. So you can understand why Sinchi is so upset about the situation, and you can also understand why Nicholas, you know, behaves the way he is.
Anyways, this episode covered chapter 85 to 86, and also adapted chapter 85.5 in the after credit scene with Sonic. But there's really nothing much to say.
Bro took a shit for 6 years, lost 2 pounds. And now we'll see if he's gotten faster.
About the manga, because it's basically a one-to-one adaptation. One frame, man. The funny thing is that they remove a small little action scene for some.
Yeah, apparently there was some cut scenes and people are kind of upset about that.
Odd reason. Maybe they saw it and went like, oh shit, that needs movement. Get that shit out of here. This episode was storyboarded by Shinpei Nagai himself, with
the main guy
assistant storyboarders. Did he not finish the storyboards on time, or did he need some help?
I don't know.
And directed by Miyuki Ishida. Surprising that the AD list is clean, and the fact that the character designer Shinjiro Kuroda and Ryusuke Shirokawa are not here doing chief AD or even AD work in the first episode, because usually the character designers does chief AD for the first episode, but maybe they're focusing on other episodes. I mean, the episode didn't really move much, so yeah. But Kazumi Ono was chief AD, and key animated in the episode. Maybe he'll do God's work in terms of output for this project. He also participated in the opening too. Surprising that Aoki is here. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he was
the main action guy, right? The one that made this pre-animated trailer that we're basically all of One Punch Man action, I think, is reliant on this guy right now, as far as I know.
Will be in every episode. This isn't a priority episode. Even with 2 ADs, there was still bad wonky perspective shots, so hopefully they know how to.
And that's the tricky thing about this not being a priority episode, because it is the first episode of the season, but it's not a new season. Usually the first episode of a brand new season of anime, season 1, is going to be a hook. This is obviously 3 seasons deep, and it's not a priority episode. It's like a setup, just getting ready. A lot of people criticize this, saying, you know, come on, guys, like, why are we being so negative about this? But some people are saying, you know, it's the first fucking episode of the season. Should it not have that love and dedication, right? I think it should, but we're limited in the resources. Blue Lock was the similar case too, season 2. This is actually such a one-to-one comparison to Blue Lock season 2, because Blue Lock season 2 also, obviously, not in the beginning when you see, a brand new anime season. It's not a brand new anime. We're in the middle of a season and we're still in the middle of a story, but it was like a catfish episode, right? This is a very catfish episode where both episodes of One Punch Man and Blue Lock was hype story, no action, setting the stage. And then what happens? Karasu versus, oh my God, Isagi. God, that shit was so dookie. I just hope that that's not the case. And if it is, if we have a similar situation, remember, my hope is fucking please, whatever key important fights you're going to end the season with, bring in some crazy director in to solo the fucking animation so that we end up with the recency bias and we go next.
To manage the resources and focus on the most important thing for this project, which is the action. Yes, dialogue, slice of life episodes, whatever you call it, can be very good animated too.
Yeah.
But you gotta understand this project is
Scuffed.
rush. Add to that with this hard material to adapt. And the last thing they need to do is wasting their resources and time for meaningless dialogue scenes. We've seen multiple.
That is a concept that a lot of people just won't ever accept, right? Because here's the thing. The ignorant people who don't live in reality will say, no, this should be perfect every fucking time. Every episode should have unlimited budget, unlimited talent, and there is no excuse for it to be bad because of its big brand name title, right? I think that's kind of like the mindset that Nicholas Light would have. And is that necessarily a bad thing? Like, that sounds great to me, right? But that's like utopia. That's paradise. And it's unrealistic. We live in a reality where that's not the case. That will never be the case. So then you have to decide for yourself, are you going to live in a perfect delusion or are you going to work with reality? And once you realize that we have to work within reality, then you have to recognize that resource management is absolutely a thing. And sacrificing some episodes, even if it's the first episode of a brand new season, is necessary in order for other parts to shine. And that is a working solution. Is that something we want? Not necessarily, right? We want something better. But I'm telling you, like, you have to face the reality and work with what we got, because if you don't, it's pointless. It's counterproductive, and you know, it's just going to lead to more rage baiting.
Shows even this year that can produce the best looking non-action show, but OPM is a different case. This episode has some questionable storyboards. Most of the time, some shots are just zooming out, going up or down, which
shout outs to debate. Nothing moving. The camera is the thing that's moving.
Isn't a bad thing, but it just felt a bit weird at times. I do think the pacing wasn't the best. There's some scenes that
it was choppy.
Different scenes a bit abruptly.
Yeah.
It's very limited shot composition because animation didn't move. Hell, when they tried to do something different, the
Garo walking was pretty awkward. Some people are coping and saying, well, he's injured right now. It makes sense. And yeah, it does make sense, but we'll see.
Walk cycle and the perspective shot was not
awkward.
Good. Although there was some neat looking boards. In terms of movement, I don't need the same movement as that Fubuki shot for every shot, but I wish some scenes did move a bit more. It's the same criticism I had with Saitama punching Garo. I wish the hand moved a bit more. Just some subtle character movement so the scene doesn't feel staticky. The good parts, Tatsumaki's ass cheeks, and now she has a six-pack. Okay, Fubuki being breathable, as always. Bang shaking it for a split second. And
torque that!
Mommy.
God damn.
The drawing supervision was overall quite consistent. There's some off-looking drawings, but I think the scene where we're in Saitama's room was probably the best looking scene overall.
Yep.
There was a change of drawing quality, probably.
I love these bold lines, man. Just look at Bang. Look how bold those lines are, especially on his ass.
There was quite a bit of corrections in that scene, and Fubuki probably moved the most in this episode. I mean,
the hair movement right there, right? Again, the subtle movement in the hair and the character acting here. These are things that, you know, most people, again, would just kind of gloss over because it's not fight scenes.
And Fubuki probably moved the most in this episode. I mean, this shot was in the trailer, looked really nice, but beside it, it moved a bit more than usual. Maybe Aoki animated most of the Fubuki stuff, judging from the cuts. It looks like there's a specific animator animating it. Aesthetically, I'll talk more about it on probably next episode because I'm just repeating it multiple times because most of the shots were already in the trailer. I'll say this though, I think the darker setting, I'm not the biggest fan of how they do the background. The textures and coloring definitely needed some work, or it just doesn't mix well with the character. But the lighter setting just pleased my eye more, with obviously the design having very thicker outlines. A true test of time of how good the season will look is probably next episode, because there's some scenes that require movement. Yes, aesthetically the show looks better than season 2, but let's not be delusional. Season 2 moved more in episode 1. Even
again, I haven't seen season 2, so I have no, knowledge about that. But yes, next week, which is in a couple days. As of recording right now, this is Friday, 1:51 p.m. So like in 2 days, all hell is gonna break loose. The subreddit's gonna be exploding with all the memes, and oh my god, we will be farming it.
if you remove the action parts, I mean, I watched the first 10-15 seconds of season 2 episode 1 that can tell you the answer. I really hope the fight will be good. I know Aoki will probably be there. Another good thing we can look forward, I guess, is that there was quite a bit of Twitter animators. Van Oba also confirmed that he will be participating in later episodes. But
wait, what? Okay. So this is not just, opening catfishing. Like, they're gonna be working on the actual episodes later. Okay.
But again, if those people don't have the proper time to actually make a good looking product, then that's not gonna make a big of a difference. Take So Miyazaki's cut in one of the worst looking JJK season 2 episode to then him basically animating most of Jogo versus Sukuna's fight. If you guys like the video, leave a like.
Really? Itadori Yuji. I will never lose again. Immediately fucking loses, but then that was also okay. So obviously, yeah, talent plus time, right? You need to have ample time to make it look good.
So Jogo versus Sukuna's fight. If you guys like the video, leave a like. If you
didn't,
leave a like. Comment down below what your thoughts about this episode.
I don't give a fuck about this episode. I want more drama between Sinchi and Nicholas Light, bro. Bro, this is again what an unexpected fiasco. Would you have ever imagined that Sinchi and Nicholas Light are just fucking going at it like that? I wouldn't have. We've gone a long way, huh? And you know what? At the end of the day, it's cheap reality TV drama. I love them both. I think they could be friends. If they don't want to be friends, I'm sure they can farm drama off of each other, but this is a very interesting outcome that's happened thanks to One Punch Man. Again, to me, there is little to no... Like I basically gave up on any hopes for animation in episode 1. I saw it for what it was, and I was like, there's nothing to fucking complain about because there's literally no animation happening. So I just kind of tossed aside any, hate for that and just wanted to open my mind and enjoy the episode for what it was for the story. I understand that if you're going to be enjoying the story and not care about the animation, go read the fucking manga. I have, right? I get that sentiment, but I tried to really enjoy this for what it was, and it was very enjoyable for me, right? I truly did enjoy this hype setup for this amazing, arc that's about to happen against the Villain Association. Garo Saga is just one of the best fucking story arcs in perhaps manga that I've ever read, which is a crazy thing to say, but just the chills that I felt, reading the webcomic back in the day, like as a kid, I was like, God damn, and it's finally happening. Hopefully, this gets treated well, good enough. And that little news that Sinchi gave about, the Twitter gen, web gen animators coming in saying like, hey, we've already worked on some episodes, so look forward to that. That is giving me a lot of anticipation and hype. I hope that it actually follows through. Please check out Sinchi. Here's a link to the video. Go give it a like. Bang, bang, bang. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.